Hello everyone, and I hope you're having a good day today. In this video, we're going to spend some time with a father who quietly gave up the idea of love because he was afraid the wrong person might hurt his daughter. It starts with a half-finished swing in a small yard in Vietnam and somehow turns into something much bigger than that. And if these kinds of stories are your kind of conversation, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. A man in Vietnam spent the afternoon building the swing for his daughter. He is a veteran, a single father. He never finished it, and while the swing sat there, half-built, ropes hanging, he turned to a camera and said that he had decided never to look for love again. Not because he didn't want it, because he was afraid that whoever he chose might not love his daughter the way she needed to be loved. That was it. And then he went back to work. That is what this episode is about. Not a dramatic argument, not a confrontation, just a man, outdoors, doing something with his hands, saying something most people would never say out loud as if he were describing the weather. Most people watch that and feel the sacrifice. A decent man choosing to make his own life smaller. You respect him for it. That is the obvious reading. And it is not wrong. But after a while, you start noticing something that does not quite fit. He is calm. His voice is steady. He does not look like a man who is grieving. And yet the word he uses is not decided. He does not say, "I chose this." He says he doesn't dare. Those are two different things. One sounds settled. The other sounds like he still has to talk himself out of it. At first it sounds settled. It starts to feel like something a person has to keep doing over and over. Because every day he probably has to choose it again. His name is Ha Duc. You can say it like Ha Duc. And the first thing you need to know is that he is not a dramatic man. He does not raise his voice. You get the feeling that most people around him would call him dependable before they called him emotional. He fixes things when they break. He shows up. He is a veteran, which in Vietnam means he is carrying things he probably learned a long time ago, not to talk about, that he probably does not talk about much. He was married, and then he was not. He does not say what happened in the marriage, just that it ended, and that his daughter stayed with him. She is maybe 8 or 9. Her name is Quinn An, which sounds roughly like Quinn and she has no idea, on the day this was filmed, that her father spent the afternoon building something for her. He lives in a modest place. There is a yard. There are tools. The kind of house where the work is always visible. Something half-painted, something half-fixed, something waiting to be finished. That is the setting. That is who he is, a man who keeps his hands busy. Because that is how he keeps himself moving forward. But there is one thing that does not fit neatly into that picture. He is also a man who somewhere in that same ordinary afternoon sat down in front of a camera and said the most private thing about himself out loud. The ex-wife is never seen. She is barely mentioned. Even when he barely mentions her, you can still feel that marriage in the room. And this is where the episode does something quiet and a little uncomfortable. He presents himself as a man who has made peace with his situation. But you do not use the word dare if you are at peace. People at peace usually do not talk that way. He is sitting outside. The yard is quiet. He pauses for a second and he says it plainly. The way you say something you have rehearsed until it stopped feeling like a confession. That he doesn't dare hope for new happiness. He does not look away. He does not rush past it. He just says it and then waits, like even he needs a second after saying it. What he is not saying he has stopped wanting it. He is not saying he has tried and moved past it. He is saying he tries not to let himself think about it too much, because thinking about it too much probably hurts. Maybe it is easier to say something like that to a camera. A camera cannot stop him afterward and ask what he plans to do next. He says it out loud, then goes back to work. Like he has already trained himself not to stay with the feeling too long. Then there is the swing. It is sitting right behind him while he talks. Wood, rope, not yet hung. It is not finished. The swing is still unfinished while he is talking about a part of his life he has also left unfinished. Nobody arranged that image for effect. It is just what happened. He is building something meant to make his daughter happy, but it is still unfinished. And honestly, he sounds unfinished too. Then watch his hands. He does not stop working while he speaks. He keeps working while he talks. It feels like someone who has learned, probably over many years, that keeping his hands busy is easier than sitting still with the feeling. Some people stay busy because sitting still makes everything louder. Maybe he does not even realize he is doing it anymore. The moment that stays, the one people send to each other, is maybe 30 seconds long. He says he doesn't dare think about finding new happiness. Then he says why, not because he doesn't want it, but because he is afraid someone else won't love his daughter right. First, he admits he still wants happiness. Then he explains why he keeps talking himself out of it. It does not require knowing anything about this man's history or this show or any of the context around it. You only need to have loved someone enough to give something up on their behalf. A parent watching that clip does not think about Vietnam or divorce or any specific story. They just think, yes, I know that feeling. I have been in that exact place, lying awake at night, and I never told anyone. By the time he says it out loud, the decision already feels old. Now there is a harder question underneath all of this, and it does not have a clean answer. Is what he is doing an act of love? Or has fear slowly become part of the decision too? The case for love is strong. He has first-hand knowledge of what a broken partnership does to a child. He watched it happen. He is not theorizing about the risk. He has already paid for it once, choosing not to roll those dice again, knowing what you know, at real personal cost. That is not weakness. After some mistakes, people stop taking certain chances. But the other case is also real. His daughter never asked him to stop living. She asked him to take care of her. Those are not the same request, and there is a particular weight that grows on a child who gradually understands that a parent narrowed their own life to protect them. The child did not ask for that. She cannot give it back. Kids notice those things, even when adults think they are hiding them. A parent who keeps making that choice, year after year, is also teaching the child what love looks like. And after enough years, a child may start believing that love means giving up parts of yourself. That can look like love from one side of the table and feel like pressure from the other. But then there is the part that makes the whole thing harder to sit with. Later that day, his daughter comes home and mentions, offhandedly, the way kids do, that it has been a long time since she felt happy. He doesn't catch it. He is somewhere else. And that one detail complicates every other thing he said about the child being everything. Because if she is everything to him, and she is hurting in ways he does not notice yet, then what exactly has all this sacrifice protected? Maybe that is the part he still does not fully see yet. That is the question this episode leaves open. Not whether he loves her, that is obvious. Not whether he made the right choice. Whether enough is really enough. He said, as long as she is healthy and cared for, it's enough. He built the swing. He did everything a good father does. And somewhere in that same afternoon, his daughter was carrying something she didn't know how to name. I keep thinking about that gap between what he believes he is providing and what she is feeling. I don't think this story is going to let him keep not seeing it. If you have ever watched someone sacrifice something for you, really sacrifice, not just inconvenience themselves, and then realized they had no idea whether it helped, leave that in the comments. I want to know how that felt, and if any of this is your kind of conversation, come back for the next one. I still keep thinking about them. This story follows Ha Duc, a quiet Vietnamese veteran raising his young daughter alone after a painful divorce. One afternoon, while building a swing for her in the yard, He admits to the camera that he no longer allows himself to think about finding love again. Not because he stopped wanting happiness, but because he is afraid the wrong person could hurt his daughter emotionally. As the episode unfolds, what first looks like a simple act of sacrifice becomes something more complicated. The unfinished swing behind him begins to mirror the unfinished parts of his own life. And when his daughter casually mentions that she has not felt happy in a long time, the story quietly shifts. The episode stops being only about sacrifice and starts asking a harder question. Can love protect someone while still leaving them lonely?